Tonight, a McLean woman accused of killing her own mother and sister is waiting on a jury for a second time. Megan Hargan was convicted of killing her mom Pamela and sister Helen last year, but then a judge overturned the double murder conviction, all because a juror broke the rules.
Matthew Torres joins us live from Fairfax County, where a new jury just finished up hearing the closing arguments about 20 minutes ago. Matthew, we know this case got national attention, so help us understand how we got here.
Leslie, no doubt closing arguments wrapped up. It took all day, but the jury will come back tomorrow morning to start deliberations. And the judge was explicitly clear they cannot conduct their own independent investigation or experiment. After all, this is the second trial for Megan Hargan after the same judge overturned her conviction last year because of a juror misconduct. 6 years after this incident, another jury will determine if Megan Hargan is guilty on 2 counts of first-degree murder.
The prosecution described Megan Hargan as an entitled woman who was jealous her mother was going to buy her sister a new home. Police found Pamela and Helen shot in the head inside a McLean home in July 2017. Prosecutor Kelsey Gill argues she killed her mother in an attempt to fraud hundreds of thousands of dollars to close on a new home in West Virginia, and tried to paint a picture that she then killed her sister, who was begging for her life in the bathroom. Gill says leaving Helen alive would be too big of a risk. Everything would be for nothing if Helen didn't keep her mouth shut. The Commonwealth painstakingly detailed a timeline of events and says there was gun residue on Megan's hands. They say the rifle belonged to Megan's partner and staged the gun between her sister's legs to make it appear it was Helen who killed her mother and then herself. Gill asks, how could Helen even pull that off? But defense attorney Brian Kennedy says the Commonwealth failed to exclude the possibility that Helen could kill herself by pointing the rifle towards the top of her hairline and pulling the trigger using her toe. It's that bizarre accusation that a jury in the first trial attempted in their own home, considered a misconduct, and leading to the conviction being overturned. The defense also argues the residue on her hands could come from a different gun and says there is no DNA evidence belonging to Megan on that gun, nor had any of her mother's blood on her clothes. Rather, it was Helen who not only had her DNA on the end of the rifle, but on the gun case found in her car, which Kennedy blasts the Commonwealth for failing to explain to the jury, calling it a reasonable doubt. Kennedy says this is a circumstantial case. They're trying to stretch evidence far past the limitations.
And the prosecution says that after her mom died, Megan then called her bank account impersonating to be her mother to transfer that money. But defense attorney heard throughout his closing argument that Helen's actions also didn't make sense. He says, why not leave the house if she knew that her sister killed her mother? And why tell her boyfriend not to call 911? As far as motive, the defense says from Helen that there was some sort of dispute with her mom about her boyfriend moving in and worried about splitting up in this relationship. Again, this is everything that the jury heard just within the last 10 days. They will start deliberating tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. In Fairfax, Matthew Torres, WUSA 9.
All right, we know you're going to stay on top of it, Matthew. Thank you. And yes, you can trust WUSA 9 to follow this case as the jury deliberates. For updates anytime, download the WUSA 9 app to your phone or go to our website, WUSA9.com.